How's it, guys? And welcome to another video of Jun Ismail fishing. We are well into the winter months of fishing in KZN. We're into June, so the air temperature has dropped and the summer fish have made their way out of our coast. So today's video is going to be based on the transition of angling from summer fishing to winter fishing. We don't really use the autumn and spring fishing, but our main two seasons are summer and winter. So I'm just gonna speak on a few points on what to do, or what changes can we expect, all different species, etc. So I'm gonna cover 10 different aspects and try to elaborate on each one, just to help the guys to not frustrate themselves, not to lose the passion on angling, and just adjust to the sport and what's actually there, because there is a change needed to catch fish. So I'm gonna start with the first one on number one, which is the way of angling. So this is basically how I do my kind of fishing during winter. Usually in summer I fish for sandies, honeycombs, diamonds, etc. Much of the bigger non-edibles. But I scale down a bit in winter time to probably a medium tackle to like light heavy. I don't generally fish too light because I always fish for better fish, for trophy fish, and you don't want to lose it. So I scale down the tackle slightly, just because there's more edibles around, and if you fish too heavy, you don't usually get a bite when you fish too heavy during winter time. So this is also the time of the year where I usually do more sliding. So the sharks that feed on our coast during the winter months are the blackfin sharks and the Zambesis. I'm yet to catch a Zambezi. I'm just hoping to get into one or two this season. I'm gonna go and try hard for them. So sliding is something I do more often in winter, like sliding big baits with wire, and fishing for the big sharks. So I usually also do like light tackle fishing. It's not usually a facet that I'm exceptionally good at, but there are some smaller fish around just to get that bite going. So I'm usually using like prawns or bit of sardine, some choker blobs, throwing for those edibles just to get a bite. So if you're very used to fishing for like your big fish, your diamonds, honey, sandies, if you continuously do that during winter, you probably can get a blackfin or you can get a gray, but it can be a frustrating issue, especially in our north coast of KZN, where you can fish time after time and you won't get a pull. But it's not to undermine anybody, but just to work your way on finding what fish is there and how to go about targeting that. So that's what this video is all about. So just observe what fish are biting in the area, look at conditions, and try your best to get that pull as to what is there. The second aspect I'm going to talk on is the different species of fish we get in our coast for our winter months. On the edible side, there's much more cob. There's garrick around, there's pompano, there's shad that has recently come back onto our coast. For some reason, over the past few years, they haven't been feeding predominantly. They've been quite scarce. but the shed are back, so you during winter months you do get your edibles. Non-edible side, much more black ferns. You get your winter diamonds, you get blue skates. Yeah, so also it's a good time for spawning. During winter months, guys get the snook, a lot of threadfin kingfish, garfish and stuff. So it's something you have to adjust to. With the edible side, I usually fish for spadefish and stump nose during this time. Look for the flat sea or working water, and you're gonna find those edibles. So different species from summer to winter. You do get your odd sandy. I have caught a sandy in June last year, but the east blew for quite a few days and did catch one smallish one, but it's not something that's commonly caught along the coast in winter. So number 3 is the air temperature. Very big difference in air temperature in our coast from summer to winter. So guys, the air temperature does usually play a difference in the fish we catch. So the nights get really cold, temperatures dropping down to 10, 12 currently. So we've just had a tornado hit our coast yesterday, so there is a bit of turbulence in our sea conditions, but air temperature is cold at the moment. So fish do like cold. If you're targeting your dagas, your daga salmon, your cob, so they usually like temperatures that are a bit cold. It's not very comfortable to be in that cold weather, but yeah, sometimes sacrificing in that cold weather gets you that bite. The fourth one I'm going to speak on is wind direction. What I've noticed in winter compared to summer, our coast in KZN doesn't receive as much of the northeasterly winds in winter. In fact, the winds we receive is more south wind. If we do get north wind, it comes with a big sea, high wind wave period. So winter, you're gonna look for a flat sea. Just look at that small wave height. It doesn't really matter on how the wind wave period is. Usually if the wave height is low, the sea is usually flat, you can get a bite, which is in good conditions. So wind directions, you get a bit of southerly wind, not much northeasterly wind, but just look for that flat sea and you get a bite. Number 5 is your dressing. I think this is something that we have to take seriously also, because the air temperature, as I mentioned before, is quite low. We need to dress accordingly. We need to dress warmly. We need to keep ourselves warm to protect our bodies. Beanies. We're having our first our tights that we wear that keep us warm. We need to have our socks, boots, guys. Yeah, so just take care, because the air temperature at the beach is lower than the land. So please dress accordingly and protect ourselves. Number 6, the sea structure. Sea structure is generally a bit different from summer to winter. Our banks are more evident in winter because of the winds we receive. We have different currents, so those banks are more evident, which brings the edibles in. So they usually hide amongst those banks. Once the east starts blowing hard, then those banks usually escape. Happens around September or so, depending on winds. But from what I noticed over the years, our seas usually get a bit sanded up, reaching towards the winter months. Makes it a bit harder to get those non-edibles, but the edibles do like the sanded up conditions. Not too badly sanded where sand is evidently picked up, and that doesn't help the ocean because your fish can't breathe in that properly, so they usually don't like too much of sand. But with nice white working water, there's a nice bank, you're gonna get a bite. So number 7, we mustn't assume that we don't ever get summer fish in winter. So you look at the water temperature also. Sometimes your water temperature drops, you get a bit of northeasterly, get some color in the water, get rivers that open, you get some fish biting, you get sandies, you get some brown skates. There have been a couple of browns biting in the last few weeks. You get grays, you get your winter diamonds. So there is a bit of non-edibles in the water. Don't just close the book on it. Observe temperature, observe sea conditions, observe conditions, and if you put a fresh bait out for it, you're gonna get a pull. Number 8 is sardines. So the sardines are on their way to our coast. They usually don't pass very closely along our north coast. They usually stop around the Durban, Oshaka area. For the south coast, they come a bit closer. So this does have an effect on angling. Generally, when there's a large shoal of sardines approaching, the fish generally don't come too close by. They're mainly following the sardines. So after the sardines pass, or while they come close by, there is some fish around. But once they are at a distance, the fish follow the sardines, so it gets a bit more challenging. So keep that in mind when you're choosing a spot on where to go. Usually once the sardines come, the south coast comes alive. You get your fish coming there, but this does have an effect on finding a bite. Point number 9 is the duration of winter. Textbook, winter starts around May, June. It only really got cold in the last few weeks. I'd say around May, and finishes on the 1st of September. 1st of September, usually the air temperature starts increasing. Your north wind starts blowing. You get your grays, you get your diamonds. So just from May, June, July, August, September, August is your months you're gonna try for winter fishing. You're gonna change your facet of angling if you wanna find a bite faster. So those months, focus on different things and you find a bite. So now my last point I'm gonna speak on is every season is different. Every winter is different. Different kinds of conditions affect different kinds of winters. Some winters are very bad, some winters are excellent, some winters you have to battle to find a bite. It all matters on conditions: wind, air temperature, currents, sardine run, all the factors that I spoke on. So don't judge your winter fishing very negatively. Try different things. There's garrick around. You can put a live bait out, wait for a garrick. You can try for a blackfin. You can slide a bait out or throw a big bait out, wait for it. There's quite a nice shed around. So each winter is different. You just have to approach it accordingly and apply your skills. So thank you so much for watching this video. I thought it's a relevant time to speak on this topic, just to assist guys, to help them make the changes accordingly. And guys, all the best for the winter fishing. Tight lines. Let me know what you're catching. Comment on this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what we can improve on. Let us know your views. I will respond to every single comment that's on my YouTube channel. We're trying to educate the guys, bring knowledge to them, and basically just improving the fishing community. So tight lines, guys, all the best, and see you soon.